So this one simple tracking sheet and template has easily made me over $300,000. So reason being is that this template is a crucial part of our process for filling clients in our marketing agency. And because of it, we're able to almost triple our client retention, which has easily made me that extra $300,000 over the past 12 to 18 months within the marketing agency. So in this training, I'm simply just going to be breaking it down for you so you understand how to use it. Then I'm just going to give it to you. So then you can start applying within your agency. So make sure you stay to the end so you know how to access it. So right now I am using this within the real estate niche, which I definitely think is one of the best niches to start an agency in to scale as quickly as possible to 30 to 50K per month. But you can easily use this within most local business lead gen niches or even in e-com niches as well. So the client tracking sheet is right here. And before I get into the nitty gritty and the technical side of how we use this within our marketing agency, just going to cover a few things to put this into context. Okay, so our main desired outcomes with using this client tracking sheet is number one, to keep clients longer. Obviously in the agency space, we are not playing a game of just signing as many clients as possible, as quickly as possible. We don't want to have a business that is just a revolving door of clients. As we all know, it's way easier to keep clients than get new ones, and we're really playing the game. And the best way to scale an agency is slowly and steadily stacking clients and trying to maximize how much they're worth to us, increasing the retainers or how much clients are paying us each month, and just making them stay with us longer. There's only two ways you can scale: vertically by just adding more clients, or horizontally by making our clients worth more. And in the agency game, it's way more effective, sustainable, and profitable to be keeping our clients longer and making them worth more. Next is to create more compelling case studies. Obviously, the reason that our clients are going to stay longer is by getting clients better results. And using a client KPI tracking sheet like this is an extremely crucial element of getting your clients incredible results, which means you'll be able to create better case studies, which means your marketing material will perform better, which means that it'll be cheaper to acquire customers through paid ads. It'll mean your funnels convert better. It means that your clients will be showing up to sales calls with a lot more conviction, and it'll be easier to sell clients. Having compelling case studies is really the bottom line of what makes all of that a whole lot easier. Then being able to charge more and increase your prices. There are people out there that may be more experienced than you, but their business is offering a service that is fundamentally identical to what you have the skill set to be able to offer, but just simply the fact that their marketing material portrays a higher sense of authority and gives their prospects more conviction that their system works, that allows them to command higher prices. That's the world of branding, why Louis Vuitton can charge $2,000 for a pair of pants, where you can buy something that is fundamentally the same in terms of the fabric and the quality of the materials for $200. It's the branding and the perception of the value of the product. And so if more people see in your marketing material that there's a lot more people achieving success and a lot of success with your system and your service, then you're able to command higher prices. Because if you look at Hormozi's value equation, it's the perceived likelihood of achievement. If you can show more people are having success with this system, then people have higher perceived likelihood of achievement, and they have more overall value, perceived value of your service. So some lessons and some valuable takeaways of why using this tracking sheet is so important is that opportunity is the easiest thing to sell, but it's the hardest thing to deliver. So what that is saying is that, done for you marketing agency services where we're selling business growth, lead gen, scaling up e-com brands, booking in appointments or generating prospects for local businesses like real estate agents, dentists, gyms, chiropractors, home improvement niches, you name it, it's easy to sell the opportunity of business growth. Who doesn't want that? But it's one of the hardest things to deliver because there's so many variables at play, and there's a lot of roadblocks and barriers for us to be able to achieve that. And so if we don't have quality systems in place to be able to meticulously track what contributes to a client being successful or not, then we're really driving blind. And so these kind of next few quotes and lessons really drive that home. So when you don't have tracking, you're not marketing, you're just gambling. So if you're running ads for clients and the only thing you're doing for tracking is checking Ads Manager, or that's what your media buyers are doing, then you're literally driving blind. It's the exact same thing that we should be doing for our own sales process internally, and having sales KPI tracking sheets for our appointment setting process, having sales KPI tracking sheets for our sales process, and knowing your KPIs such as, what's your call to close rate, what's your show up rate, what's your offer to close rate. All of these things, if we don't know the core KPIs that contribute to the outcome that we're trying to get, then how can we course correct along the way, and how can we know what the kink in the funnel is? Next one is that the first step to making progress is tracking progress. If you don't track, you don't care. And that is so, so true. maybe you do care and you just don't know how important tracking is. But seriously, a lot of the time we almost purposefully or subconsciously avoid tracking because we don't want to face the reality of if something is or isn't working, because it completely removes all of the uncertainty and it just shows you the objective reality of if something is working or not. And so I know sure as hell, if I was running my own paid ads, which I do for my own marketing agency to acquire clients, I want to have all of the data laid out on a perfectly designed tracking sheet exactly like this, so I can see all of the metrics that matter to know exactly how much money I'm making or how much money I'm not making, so that I can course correct and change things and optimize along the way. And this is one of the biggest reasons why your clients aren't getting results, because one, you don't even know what KPIs to track, and two, you don't have a system in place to track it in the first place. Cool. So there's not that much that's really sexy or exciting about using one of these KPI tracking sheets, and the things that everyone really cares about at the end of the day is making more money in their agency. And so that comes down to improving your client retention, and this is by far the biggest challenge that most marketing agency owners face. There's a million one courses and things out there that can show you how to really ramp up client acquisition, and unfortunately, most courses and coaching programs out there kind of only teach client acquisition because it's really the easiest part of running a marketing agency. It's not that hard to come up with a cool offer and do some outreach or run some simple ads to get some clients in the door, but it's much harder to offer a compelling and competitive service that's going to keep clients. And so there's three main variables that affect client retention. One is the client and the actual people that we're working with. That's a huge portion of it. Two is the results that we're actually getting them. And then three is the experience that they have while they're working together. So the results is just like the raw deliverables of the service that you're implementing. Are you giving them leads? Are you giving them a return on ad spend if you're working with an e-com brand? And then the experience is everything else they experience while working with you. What coaching and support do they receive? What is the support like with their team? Is there a relationship being built between you and the client and their team as well? I'm going to create future YouTube videos around optimizing these other variables, but right now this is really just focusing on the results. So how do we use this tracking sheet? So number one, you have a VA fill it out daily. So if I come in here to the month of September, I just put this together as a good example of what the tracking sheet looks like for our clients. And so you can see here, we've got all of these different metrics. We've got the day, we've got how many impressions came through from that day, how many clicks there was, how many leads, how many dials the client made, how many appraisals were booked, how many appraisals were conducted, what was the ad spend for that day, how many listings were acquired, and what was the gross commission acquired from that. And so if you're in the real estate niche, you could use this directly for tracking the sales process and the results for either buyers or sellers. If you're in any other local business lead gen niche, you can literally just change the variables in here and change the KPIs to be relevant for your niche. So if you're in the dentistry niche, it might be free teeth cleanings scheduled or free appointments scheduled. Or if you're in the gym niche, it might be like free 1 week free trials scheduled, and then the value of the clients acquired. And then all you need to do is just create a very simple SOP that you could just have on a Loom video where your VA comes in and just adds in these metrics from the client's ad account that they can track and just pull directly from Facebook Ads Manager. So that's pretty simple. Then you want to be analyzing the KPIs, identify constraints early and act on them, use it for monthly strategy sessions, and use it for client accountability. So where this sheet really allows you to improve client retention is simply by knowing your numbers, knowing the KPIs that matter to improve client results, and being able to catch things early. Because if you know, okay, this is what my cost per lead should be, this is what my cost per appointment scheduled should be, this is what my conversion rate should be from calls conducted to appointment scheduled, and this is what my conversion rate should be from appointment scheduled to listings acquired or sale acquired, then you're able to pick up on if things are or aren't working much earlier in the process of working with clients, so that you can course correct along the way. Because the last thing that you want to do is be like 2 months in and you haven't really changed anything meaningful for the client, and you're just driving blind and you don't know what is the reason that the client's not getting results. Because I can tell you right now, like one of the biggest things of why most clients don't get results in the local business lead gen niche is it's often not as a result of the marketing and that we're not able to generate leads. It's about improving the sales process on the back end and adding things to your marketing strategy, or adding things in terms of coaching your client and setting expectations with your client so that they're executing on the sales process correctly. And so As you can see here, what's cool about this tracking sheet is that it totals all of the numbers on the right-hand side at the monthly level, but then it also totals everything so that you can see an overview of each month as well and see the totals. Obviously, this is a demo, so this is just filled out for a single month, but we can see here how much was spent for the month, how many impressions there was, how many clicks that turned into, what the cost per click was, how many leads were generated, what our cost per lead was, how many dials the client made, what the earning per conversation was. So this is a cool metric to be able to give to your clients, because you can show them, okay, this is how much every time you picked up the phone and just attempted to call one of our leads, this is how much it was worth to you. And that gives people a lot more clarity and confidence to be spending time going through the motions of doing the sales process to follow up with your leads, because it can be very disheartening, just getting a lot of no's and rejections when you're following up with leads. Next is it will show you obviously the total amount of appraisals booked, cost per appraisal, earning per appraisal, how many listings were acquired, average listing value, the cost per listing, the overall GCR required, and then the overall return on ad spend. And that's the number that matters at the end of the day. Usually we're trying to optimize for about an 8-15 return on ad spend. So for example, if we were working with a client and we were a month and a half in with working with them, say we were getting a $17 cost per lead, and we'd notice that they're doing as many dials as they're meant to be doing, but they've only booked in, so we've generated them 40 leads and they'd only booked in 2 appraisals. 2 divided by 40 equals 5. And our KPI for our conversion rate from leads to on-site appraisal scheduled is 15%. So they're only operating at 30% of capacity of what their conversion rate should be to booking in on-site appraisals, which means that we know that either the lead quality is really poor or they're not executing on the appointment setting process correctly, and we need to listen to some of their call recordings, see what version of the script they're executing on, see if they're handling objections well, see if they're turning away leads that they should be booking in for an appointment, see if they're not prioritizing following up with the right leads in the pipeline, and we can start troubleshooting that. Also as well, what's extremely important is that obviously for our clients to continue working with us, at the end of the day, they need to be ROI positive. And so if you don't have clarity around, are we actually a net positive working with this business or not? In the real estate niche, it's obviously a long-term sales cycle, so it takes a little bit longer for the ROI to pay off, usually like 2 to 3 months for us to see a positive ROI. But if you're, again, just driving blind and having no clarity on how much money you're actually making for your clients, then it makes it much, much harder to talk strategy and to be giving recommendations from a position of authority. And so using these sheets makes it really, really easy and straightforward to have your monthly strategy sessions with clients, because you're essentially just pulling up this sheet, going through the KPIs, talking about where the kink in the funnel is, going, hey, we need to improve this, we need to improve our cost per lead, we need to improve the quality of our leads, we need to improve our appointment setting process, whatever it is. Or, if we're wanting to scale up to this many listings acquired per month based on our current conversion rates, we need to spend X amount more so we can get more leads, more appointments, and get more listings through the door. And so you're essentially just going through this tracking sheet, and it makes it really, really easy to have those end of month conversations with clients. Also, if you're using it for holding your clients accountable, a lot of the time, if we're trying to hold our client accountable, saying, hey, you're not doing the number of dials necessary, but we don't have any place that we're tracking that, or that we're collecting that data on a regular basis, then it makes it really hard to give specific recommendations and just go, hey, you're not doing this because we can see the numbers, versus hey, like, we need to be doing more calls in general. And so this makes it a lot easier for you to hold your clients accountable, because the numbers are all there. But that is literally everything. That's all you need to know about this, is just use this tracking sheet, customize it for your niche, customize it for your clients. You can just come in, click file, make a copy of it. If you're wanting to get access to this worksheet and the client tracking sheet, it's just going to be in my free course and school community, which I'm going to put a link in down in the description of this video below. So all you need to do is just jump in there, join that, and you'll be able to find this inside of the school group. If you want more valuable agency-specific training like this, I'm going to be putting out videos consistently 1 to 2 times a week. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like to help me out with the algorithm. But that's all for this one. Peace.